Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marte. I come from Norway and I love makeup, especially indie makeup and sparkly makeup. And today I just really wanted to play with makeup. I wanted to do something a little bit more colorful and very fall-esque, so that's what I ended up doing. I just ended up putting together this fall palette from Terra Moons shadows, and I know there's been a little bit of a controversy with Terra Moons lately, but they did end up cancelling the collab that was kind of causing all of the drama, which I was happy that they ended up doing that. And yeah, all in all, I kind of just want to have this be about the makeup, and I haven't even used these shadows yet because I ordered them during spring, and yeah, they're just perfect for fall, so that's why I put this little thing together. And I did this look using it, and I also just figured I wanted to talk about some other makeup that is new to my collection or just some favorites of mine. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit about that, keep on watching this video. I'm going to start off with some swatches, and I'm not doing live swatches today, but at least you get to have a look at the shadows in the palette.
Sit on my bed, I got nothing to do. Take out my phone 1 second, right to you. I'm really bored. Please don't ignore.
And here's a little bit of a close-up as well. These are such gorgeous shadows. I'm going to leave all of the names down below in my description box so that you can see the names. They're all from Terra Moons. I just really wanted to use some of those shadows today because I haven't used a lot of these before. So yeah, that's those shadows from the palette. To prime, I'm starting with the Camouflage from Glam Shop. It's called Camouflage Expert. I just usually apply it with my finger, and I try to apply that where I have some redness, which would be under the eyes, a little bit up here, also to cover up some of that blue. And then I also take it on the outer corner right here. I just feel like this one counteracts a lot of the discoloration that I have. And then I go in with the Glam Shop eyeshadow base. Again, I apply it on the inside here. I start a bit further down just so I can control the amount I'm applying. And as you can see, I'm keeping it over the crease and I'm not taking it into the crease. That is to avoid having creasing, because the more product that I apply, the more chance I have of getting creasing with my eyeshadows, which I really want to avoid. So that's basically how I do my eyeshadow priming. And I just really want to make a super fall look, maybe combined with an orange or brown lip. So I will be using the deeper, more burgundy red in the outer crease. Then I will probably blend it together with the more mustardy yellow and the orange. And I think I'll go in with some of the greens for the lower lash line. And for the lid, I haven't completely decided yet if I should go for the warmer ones right here or if I should go for the more cooler toned greeny shadows here. So I will just apply the mattes first. The brush I'm using now is Glam Shop 022, and this is actually the new one that I just ordered. It's in pink instead of white. And as I said, I'm going to put this red just in the outer V over here, so I'm trying not to apply it too far up. I mostly just want this shadow to give some depth and some warmth to the upper part of the eye. So I can barely see it now when I have my eyes open and looking forward, so that's just perfect. Then I'm just going to slightly blend out the edges to make the blend better once I go in with the next shadow. Before I'm continuing with the warm shades, I'm actually going to start with the under eye, and I'm using this green shade, and I'm just applying that in the very edge right here. Do you also have like a good eye and a bad eye? I feel like this one is looking so much better than this one, and also I have a terrible creasing happening here, which nearly never happens to me. Maybe it's just the eye base and that I applied too much, I don't know. but I haven't actually used this particular matte shade from Terra Moons, so maybe that's it as well. I don't know, but I'm just gonna try to make it work. Anyway, I'm going in with this yellowy orange shade right now, and I'm taking my Glam Shop 0119 brush, and I'm not sure how far I want to drag this toward the inner part of my eye, but I definitely want to just soften up that red shade. I don't want this to look like a Christmas look. I really want it to be a super fall look. And this shade is applying so beautifully. You can see that it's already blending so well. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but I also used my Smashbox primer first, which is just a silicone-based primer. I'm now going to take that same brush that I just used with the orangey shade here, and I'm going to use this one, Goldie Luxe, I think it's called. It's definitely a lot more powdery than the other shadows, and I see that I do have to pat down a little bit of my base right here, and then I'm just going to be packing this on really. So now I really just have to work a little bit more on the blend, especially on this eye. I feel like it's already looking pretty good here. And I will also be using, and I guess I could do that right now, I'm just going to take that same brush that I used with the green, and I'm taking this more neon-y green, and I'll apply that right here. Ooh, that definitely is like a neon shade. Although it's not actually one of their neons, because I have the Terra Moons neons, and they're beautiful, but this is very pretty and just in between green and yellow. I really like that. I mean, it's kind of funny because if you look at my palette, my collab palette with Mekka Beauty Shop, you could have made like almost the exact same look, just a little bit more grungier and muted, because this one is very colorful, the one that I made with Terra Moons, but you have like a burgundy right there, you have the orange, you have a neon-y green, you have a more muted green and a deep green, so maybe like mixing those would have given you almost exactly the same. And for the shimmers too, you have some that are quite similar. I mean, not at all the same, but you can get the same vibe with this one, which is a little bit funny because I created this custom one as well, so you can really see what kind of shadows I'm drawn to. But anyway, I'm ready to apply some shimmers now, and I have to decide, should I go for something warmer, which I initially kind of wanted to, or should I use some of the more cooler toned, green toned ones? I mean, I'm kind of feeling the warmer tones because I do want to use a brown lip. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do, and maybe I will use a little bit of this lightest one right here, just like down here on the lower lash line. So I'll just apply a little bit of my Glam glue, which I have right here, and I'll be back for the shimmers. I'm starting with the deepest shade out here in the outer corner and just packing it on. This is my Glam Shop 0100 brush. I think I have like 3 of these because I just find it so versatile, and I just wanted to, I want to have one for both shimmers and for mattes, and maybe even 2 colors at the same time, you know. So I'm just using that to pack on the deepest one. For the lighter shade, I'm using a brush from Stassi Alex. This is WG5. I feel like I definitely should go in with my finger here because it's a little bit more of a flaky formula. Yeah, I'm just gonna take my finger, and now my dog just woke up. But yeah, you can see that makes it so much smoother and prettier immediately. So that's the lid, and I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. And I think I'll just finish off the rest of my makeup before I decide what to put on the inner corner. So I kind of wanted to just show some of my favorite products as of lately. So again, I'm going to mention the Camouflage product from Glam Shop. I like to use this around my nose. I already applied it a little bit earlier, but I also like to apply it here, just to cover up a redness that I might get in the cheek during the day. I find that this one has very nice coverage while still looking very natural. So I just apply it like everywhere where I feel like I need it. Another favorite of mine is Salt New York's. Actually, all of these. I have the foundation, I have a bronzer, I have a blush, and I have a highlight. And I've used this quite a bit for like my daily makeup, and I just apply them with my fingers. So the foundation I will just apply like this, and it's looking a little bit sweaty now because apparently I had it resting on my wax melt, like my wax burner. So it was very warm when I just found it, but I usually just apply a relatively thin layer all over my face, and I find that this takes a little bit more time than my regular foundation routine when I use just a brush, but I find that the result is just so long lasting and really nice, so I just think it's worth it whenever I have the time to do so. And it just evens out my skin tone and gives me a very nice finish, and it doesn't feel sticky or anything. So I've been really enjoying this one, and since it's a little bit time consuming, I'm just going to skip this part and show you how it looks like once I have it all over my face. So here is how it is looking applied to my skin. I only have that tint on and I really like it. It's a little bit too dark but you can still see a little bit through, but it just looks very, very natural, and it's not like, I don't know, it just feels comfortable on the skin. It doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything other than moisturizer, so that's why I really like it. And I also just swirl a little bit in the pan when I'm going to apply bronzer, and it's quite pigmented actually, and I just had to zoom out a little bit. I think this might be a little too much, but I will just apply it also. Wow, you can tell I'm not used to showing face makeup, but I'm also applying it around the perimeter of my face. And I'm just like tapping it in until I'm happy with how it's looking. And it's just very effortless, I feel like. I don't know if you can really tell, but that's the bronzer on. And I suppose I can just apply the blush immediately. And with this one I'm a little bit more careful because again it's very pigmented. So I'm just trying to apply a little bit and blend it out. And I find that these blend out so easily, especially with a finger. I actually don't think I've used a brush with these, but here they are on, and I just think it looks so beautiful and natural. Oh, I just love how it's looking. And before I put on the highlighter, I'm going to use some concealer, and I'm going to be using just my Glam Shop Under Eye Concealer. I just got this actually in my last order, and I think I had this before. I don't know if it's the same though, but I think I had it before and I just can't find it. So I ended up ordering one, and I find it's a perfect shade match. It's a little bit lighter, so it gives me a little bit of a highlighted under eye area, and it's thin, but it still covers enough. So I've been enjoying this since I got my Glam Shop order in. I think it's been like 1 or 2 weeks, and I've just used this since. Now for the concealer, I'm just going to zoom you in again, and I don't usually apply a lot. Maybe like this, and then I just try to blend it out. And I actually prefer my fingers, so I'm just gonna need a mirror first. But I just use my ring finger and I get a little bit more on my finger, and then I go to the outer corner, tap it in. Basically just the technique that Robert Welsh uses, with a little bit on the inner corner and a little bit on the outer corner. And that's usually more than enough for me. And this is also the reason why I apply the eyeshadow base so far down, just because if not I would have had like more redness and blueness showing through right here. But I already covered that up before adding the eyeshadow. And before I start having any creasing with the concealer, I usually go in with my powder, and the powder I've been using, it's just from Mekka. I already opened it and put product in the in the lid, so I can't actually show you. But it's just called Matte Your Selfie, and it's just a nice powder. It's very thin. I don't have any creasing. It doesn't make me look or feel dry. It just mattifies, it doesn't change the color, so I really like it. And it's a Norwegian brand, so it's very accessible, and it's also a very cheap brand. But I also really like all of Glam Shop's powders, but lately I've just been preferring this one. And I might use a little bit just down here on my chin. And I usually also mattify just in the corner of my nose here. But other than that, and a little bit in my forehead, just here in the middle. Other than that, I actually don't usually powder, so I have a pretty dewy look. But I really need that because I have oily 2 combination skin, and I don't know, I just feel like it's so much easier, especially since I wear glasses, and the glasses usually make my foundation lift right here where the glasses are resting on my cheek, so I just prefer to not have it set because then I can just tap it out again and it will look just as if I just applied it. But I'm going to fix this other side as well. Now that my concealer is on, I'm going to apply this highlighter, so I'm just swirling my finger in it a little bit. And this is like the Balm products here. They really get warmed up on your finger, so you don't necessarily need a lot. And I don't always do this because you can see that I get a lot of glow from this. And since I don't mattify anything, it's already quite glowy. Like, this is without any highlight, and then I add the highlight, and you really just get a super glowy cheek. And I think it looks very natural and pretty, apart from being like super shiny, but it's not any glitter specks or anything, which is just why I love this foundation and the combination of these Salt New York products. Now for my brows, I've been using this Romand. It's a Korean brand, I think, or Chinese, I'm not sure. But I've been using this Han All Brow Cara, and I think this is the one in Taupe or something. But it's like a brow mascara, so I just brush it on, and then afterwards I use this product, which is from Mekka, the Norwegian brand I just mentioned, and it's called Flick a Brow Ink Pen. And I just kind of fill in any kind of empty space with that, so I can just, I guess, fast forward through how I do this. It doesn't really take much time though. And you can see the huge difference with my brow that is done and the brow that I haven't done anything with. And the last step before mascara, I use this long-lasting eyeliner from Glam Shop, and this is also relatively new to me. It's in the shade Blackest Black, and it truly is super black, so I need to be a little bit careful when applying it. And I just apply it super tight up into my lash line, and then I also go in between right here from underneath. And especially for me with blonde hairs, I think this just makes the whole look so much more cohesive. And it's almost a must when I do false lashes, but I do this on an everyday basis too. And that was the finished look close up, and of course I added a lipstick, and I actually used 2 lipsticks and no lip liner today. And I used the lipstick from Melt Cosmetics, so regular lipsticks, and it's called Lose My Hashtag. And then it is the other one that I used, Proper Beauty Made It, which is a beautiful light orange lipstick, and it's literally one of my favorites, and I'm so happy to have used it again, and it's just so comfortable on the lips. So that's what I used, and I'm so happy with how this look turned out using some of my favorite products. You can just see how glowy my skin looks with the Salt New York face products, and I loved how the Terra Moons shadows performed. My dogs are like, what are they even doing? My puppy is a little bit mean to the older dog that I have, and I'm trying to not have them lick my makeup. Ubi, which is our newest dog here, he's like 5.5 months. He's a little bit too intense sometimes to look. He's a very calm dog. I mean, he loves to play, but he's not very much of a physical play dog, which the other one is. So yeah, that's what was happening right now. He's wearing his cute pajamas. Yeah. Anyways, I was talking about the Terra Moons shadows, and I just think they're so beautiful, and I haven't really used a lot of these new shimmers because I ordered them during spring, and I haven't really been using a lot of special shades, or I mean, I have used some special shades, but not this colorful. So that was really exciting to just go all in and use a lot of colors. And I'm so excited about fall, so I'm hopefully going to be using a lot more fall makeup. I'm not sure how much I will be on YouTube though, because work is taking its toll on me. But I'm so happy to have made this video and show you some beautiful makeup, and I would love to hear your opinions about the makeup that I used also. So if you tried these, or if you want to try some of these things that I showed in this video, I would love to hear down below. But I think that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet and you like this kind of content, please do subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!